Okay, let's find the relationship between each one. As we go, we are increasing by 3, and you are increasing here by 3, and you're increasing here by 3. The other side, we're increasing by 4, increasing by 4, and again, increasing by 4. So that means your relationship, or your M, your rate of change, is 3/4 for all of them. So that means it is indeed linear and will form a line. Now let's find the relationship between these. That's increasing by 10. This is increasing by 20. This is increasing by 40, which is fine. These are increasing by 1. Those are increasing by 1. Those are increasing by 1. And so that is not fine, because when we have y, the change in y, over the change of x, the change of y is a 10, the change of x is a 1. On this one, it's a 20 and a 1, and this one is a 40/1, and those are not equivalent to each other. So that means it is a non-linear function, meaning it will not form a line. Okay, so to write your equation, remember it needs to be in y equals mx plus b form. So the y and the x are staying because those are these values. That's what you would substitute in. But I need to find the m and the b for each one. So I need the m, which is your rate of change, and your b, which is your slope. Your slope is easy because it's identified right there. Across from 0 is a 5. But your rate of change takes a little bit longer. So let's identify it. These are increasing by 10. That's increasing by 10. And that's increasing by 10. These are increasing by 2, 2, and 2. So we need the change in y over the change of x, just like we practiced on the first two. So this is 10/2, which is a 5. So now we take the 5 and the 5 and we substitute it in. Y equals, the m is the red one. Keep your x and your plus sign, and the b is the other 5. M x plus b. Okay, let's find the equation for the next one. You need to find your m and your b. Your b is extremely easy because it is what is across from your 0. Do not choose this one. It has to be across from your x. So your y-intercept would be 9. Now let's find your slope, or your rate of change. Your rate of change, again, you have to find your pattern. So this is decreasing by 3, decreasing by 3, decreasing by 3. These are increasing by 1s. So the change in the y is a -3, and the change in your x side is a 1. -3 divided by 1 is a -3. So now let's just take those two numbers and plug them in your equation form. Y equals -3x plus, and your y-intercept of, or b, of 9. Okay, we're writing the equation, so it has to be in the y equals mx plus b form again. All right, so first what you need to do is take a look at your graph and realize that these are going by 2's, not 1. So this is a 1, and so that is actually on that 1. This is actually on that 3, and this is actually on that 5. So those are valid points. Okay, so what we need to do is you need to find your m and you need to find your b. Your b is very obvious because it is where it crosses that line, so it doesn't have a choice. That is a +5. Okay, now we need to find another location along that is accurate. So I like this one right here. So we're going to build that triangle to find our m. So I'm going to travel this way and travel this way. This is actually traveling by 2 and 3 right here. And this vertical is traveling up 1 and 2 more, which is also a 3. So 3 over 3 is a 1. Is a traveling of 1. So writing our equation, y equals, the m is a 1, so we'll just put an x, 1x, plus, and our b is a 5. So our equation y equals x plus 5. You can write a 1 in front if you need a 1 right in front of that x just to see it. Okay, now the next one. You can recognize right away that these are increasing by 1 and these are increasing by 1, so it's an easy one to see. So we have to find our m and we have to find our b. Again, the b is the easy one. You go along this line and you see where it's crossing, and it crosses right here at the 4. So we got our b and we put a dot right there at the 4, and that is a 4. Now we go along the line and we try and find one where it crosses nicely. And I like where it crosses right here. So now we are going to build that triangle down below. You had to travel this way and that way. Now let's count. We went to the left, 1, 2, right here. We went to the left, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we went up, 1, 2, 3. So that is a -4 and a 3. So write it like that. That is a -3/4. So now we just plug it in. Y equals -3/4 x plus 4. Okay, let's start out by identifying our stuff. We have our m and we have our b of -1. So our -1, we automatically take these and we put a dot at the -1. Okay, now we have to find the directions we go from there. So we have our m as 1/4. Now that 1/4 tells us which direction to move. This is always to the right, and this is positive, so it is up. So we're going to move this next dot. We're going to put it right here and start and move up 1 right to the 4. Now to get another dot, if you go further up, you're going to run out of room. So what you can do is you take and you start back here and you do the opposite. You go down 1 and left 4, and then you get that third one. Now that's just so you get a more accurate line when you connect your dots. So go ahead and connect your dots and create that slope. Okay, next problem. Let's go ahead and identify all of our stuff that we need to. We have our m and our b. Our b, of course, is that y-intercept. So go ahead and place that one on there at the +2. Now you go ahead and identify your directions by figuring out what your m. Your m is -2 and change it into a fraction, so I put a 1 underneath it. This, again, always to the right. Now negative is not up. You have to go down this time because it is a negative. So now we are moving our next dot according to that. So start at your original dot at 2, and you're going down 2, right 1, and leave your dot there. Now again, start from there, down 2, right 1, and you have formed your negative slope. Do at least 3 dots so that you can have an accurate drawing when you connect that straight line.